Hello everyone, welcome to yet another Cave Divers React. My name is Gus.
I'm Woody.
And today we're going to be reacting to an interesting video that I found on YouTube, one of those recommended videos. I didn't watch the whole thing. I think just the title, I knew I needed to react to this thing. But it's basically a group of divers that decided to go to the Mount Everest of Caves, which is Eagle's Nest in Florida. Now, here's the thing about Eagle's Nest. Eagle's Nest is called the Mount Everest of cave diving because it's a super deep cave. It's about 100 meters deep, so 320 feet or so, 330 feet. And is because of the fact that it's super deep and massive. Like, you can get lost even with lights on. Like, it's so big. The ballroom at Eagle's Nest is the biggest room I've ever been to. Did you see the end of that room?
Nope.
When we went there? So it's just amazingly massive and breathtaking. I mean, Eagle's Nest is a beautiful cave. But they want people to dive on that cave with the right training, right? You have to be full Trimix certified, which me and Woody are full Trimix certified. Woody happens to be an instructor up to Normoxic Trimix. They want you to be obviously full cave certified as well. And they want you to have some experience. That shouldn't be like your first cave dive, right? Just go to Eagle's Nest. Again, it's called the Mount Everest of cave diving. And I think when we went to dive it, I remember Doug was the one that was with us. He was, part of the group. And I've never seen Doug so serious about a briefing. Like, this one we need to respect. Several people have died in this cave. We're not going to be part of that group, but respect it. Don't just treat it like any other cave out there where if you have an issue, you just go up and it's not a big deal. Well, we're about to find out if these guys have all that training and experience required to do this safely.
The only thing I have to add is, I'm assuming they have serious training and experience. You cannot dive in Eagle's Nest without that. There's no maybe. This is probably, I'm not 100% sure, but one of the caves that has killed more people than any other cave.
That's right.
There's been more deaths in this cave. It didn't kill anybody, but yeah. So a lot of people have died in this cave. The state of Florida actually had it closed at one point. They closed it, and they have reopened it.
Yep.
So you're talking about a very serious advanced cave.
Yep. And some of the people who have died at Eagle's Nest were actually legit, very well trained and experienced cave divers. So this is not one of those where only people that go in without training die. This one has killed even experienced cave divers. So it's not a joke. Do not go to Eagle's Nest if you're not able and capable of doing that safely. So let's see.
Welcome back, and I want to say a big thank you for watching the videos and subscribing. Today we're going to be diving at Eagle's Nest in the Chassahowitzka Wildlife Management Area. And you've probably heard the term Eagle's Nest. It is listed as one of the world's most dangerous areas to dive because of the caves there.
That's true.
And the overhead environment. It has claimed several lives, including free divers and scuba divers, experienced scuba divers and beginners. There are rules in place. I don't think they allow free divers anymore because I believe the last person to perish there was a free diver. Today we will not be cave diving. We're simply going to go through the chimney or the opening, they call it a chimney, that leads below into the cavern zone, and we're going to go as far as what they call the top of the mound. And that's about it. We'll explore a little bit around that area, and then we'll be heading up to the top. When we get back up at the end of the video, I want to show you something we came across that really is a stark reminder to really pay attention to your training, pay attention to safety, pay attention to your buddies when you're diving. A lot of times people can become complacent and think they are more powerful.
A lack of
Woody,
gear.
They're having a dance party.
They're standing
at the top of the mountain. They're standing on the mountain.
You are kidding me.
They are on a single tank, all of them, as far as I've seen. There's like he has shown about 2 or 3 of them. They have like a one handheld light. I don't know if they have backup lights, but they're just literally standing on the ground.
Wow. They violated so many rules already.
Like as soon as I saw them vertically, I was like, okay, these guys are not cave divers. Immediately.
This entrance to Eagle's Nest, although the top looks super mundane and harmless, that is one of the most intense cave entrances I've ever been in. You're talking about a pure vertical tube.
Yep.
Straight down, no room to like...
You can't go as a pair.
You cannot go as a pair. And then if you get down to the bottom and don't immediately get into trim, you're going to silt that out instantly. Plus, they're on... I think this guy on the left has got one tank on his back.
All of them
Look
have
like
single
a
tank.
recreational scuba diver.
All of these are recreational scuba divers.
So my reaction is just, come on, man.
This is ridiculous.
This is why this stuff can get shut down permanently.
And that's important that you say that. Because when we review and reacted to the video of the instructor who went into Lower Orange Grove and got lost, people were like, what do you guys care about? If this guy wants to die, he can die. The problem is that when people die, they shut the caves down. And it's so unnecessary because you can get trained and do it properly. Why do it improperly, die just to go to a cave and then get it shut down for everyone else? And it's tough because sometimes it's hard to be on a position where you can talk about things like this openly without coming out as we are saying that we are the only people in the world that can do this. Right? It's hard, for me at least, right? When I criticize technique, when I criticize the fact that people are standing, by no means I'm saying, oh, I'm such an elite diver that I wouldn't do this, right? All I'm saying is you can die if you don't have the proper training, techniques, and equipment. And I don't think these guys have either one of those things.
And they really are. And that's how people make mistakes and die doing this. So let's enjoy the video and we'll talk to you at the end.
Octopus. Do they have snorkels?
By the way, he's in a shorty.
Yeah. Shorty and like short sleeve. Rash guard.
72-degree water.
Well,
Fahrenheit.
Look at this guy. Just like vertical, destroying visibility. They're clearly swimming away from
where are they going?
Yeah, they're swimming away.
So we can stop it for a second just to let people know that aren't cave divers. You should not swim away past where you can see the line. You need to be able to see the line at all times.
That's right.
I'm going to assume they didn't know that.
That's a good assumption, I think. So that's the sign back there, by the way. That's a sign that says, do not go in here. This is a cave. And these guys are vertical still.
Yeah, they're in
destroying visibility.
They're in the cave zone.
Absolutely. There's no light here. This is not a cavern. Oh, man. Where's that guy going?
I just hope all these guys get out. I don't know anything about this video.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one either. I'm reacting live with you. Where's he going?
See how he's kicking everybody? That's just silt. It probably is silting it out really bad. Looks like it is. See all that dirt kicking up? That's from his kicks.
And the problem with them making it out, which I hope they'll make it out, of course, is that people will say, like, what? See, it's not a big deal. They went to Eagle's Nest. They came out. No problem.
Lock.
Like, what's the big fuss about? You don't need to be cave trained.
There's the line. This one.
Yeah, they're staying by the line. Might as well go on your knees. I mean,
Is he gonna go on his knees?
of course. I mean, why not?
You can't do that. You just can't do what you're seeing in a cave.
What's that beeping? Low air, going up too fast. Yes to both.
I don't remember what the cavern at the bottom there depth is. It's about 100.
Maybe he's about to show it. Let's see. Show us. Show us your depth.
He's deep.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Come on. Show it. Oh. No, he didn't show it. And if I had to guess, I would say the top of the mountain is around 100 feet. About 30 meters or so.
For everybody that doesn't know, that sign, basically in summary, says stop. You will die. It doesn't say maybe. It says you will die if you go beyond this point and you're not trained for cave diving. That's in summary. It's actually a Grim Reaper. It's a picture of a Grim Reaper.
Yep.
So
It even says, even instructors. Like, just to make sure that this is clear, even if you're an instructor, it doesn't matter. You will die. By the way, they have a single tank. No backup of any kind, and they're all so far away from each other. Look how far they are from each other. I haven't seen two people next to each other in the whole dive.
we would never dive like this in this cave. We would never be that far away from each other.
Seems like this is two people together, so for the first time. He's using his rattler, like, hey guys, I think it's time to go. I think it's time for you not to be there from the beginning. What are they doing? That's not the cave.
Don't go down there. I don't want this guy going down there.
That'll be the last time you see him.
That's for sure. I would silt out immediately.
This guy has a police light? What?
They have no reels on
Scuba
them,
police.
I assume.
No. No.
Because if you're off the line, you got to tie off and reel yourself so you're always on a line.
Oh, here we go. 80. Okay, so he's at 80 and he's about 20 feet from the top of the mountain. So, yeah, about 100 feet. I hope they're heading up. Yep, that's the tube. So they're heading up. Finally.
It's a good view of the tube so you can see what you have to come back up through. It's hard for me to react because it's just all one big no. That's my reaction. It's a shame that they did this.
Yeah.
And that this is out there. I wish it wasn't out there. Because exactly what they don't want happening.
Still people down there. Ugh. What's that beeping for? It's not ascent or descent rate. I assume it's like low air. You think?
Or past a stop, or past a safety stop, or something like that.
Does he have a problem?
Obviously, light signals is something they may not have discussed in their briefing.
Shaking his light to me is telling me he has no air. He has a problem of some kind.
Right.
So stop there. What's he doing?
When we're up to one time.
Well,
Raining silt.
they made it.
Looks like it. We're back on the pond. Apparently that guy doesn't know how to use his fins because he's just moving with his hands. The guy on top seems to be trying to do his best. Looks like he's in training. Oh man, that's probably very low on air.
I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the end, and I want you to notice the still shot from some of the video I extracted in the right hand, towards the bottom right hand side of this picture. You'll see a box, and inside that box are ashes, human remains. And while we didn't really look for anything else, we didn't want to disturb the box. The lid was, off, as you see it there. I did. When I saw what it was, I put the lid back on it, as secure as it could get, and we left it alone. But that is a box with human cremains in it, which we would have to assume that it's probably one of the divers that perished there, and their family or loved ones probably realized that maybe that's where they would want to be. Maybe not everybody's going to understand that, but I just don't know. We don't know who it is. There might be markings on the box. I couldn't find anything online to tell us, who might have put it there or who that might be. But next time we go back, we will try to, look at the box a little closer without disturbing it. But there's two schools of thought on this, as far as I'm concerned. One of them is that, somebody just wanted to leave their loved one there because they really enjoyed the diving and they felt that that's where they would be happiest. And the other school of thought is that it was a calculated move for them to place that there to remind people that this is a place where people die, and to, don't take it for granted, don't take it lightly. They want people to, understand that there is real risk here, and that's something that me and my, dive buddies are talking about every day, more and more now. And just know that yes, it's beautiful, but people have died here, and this kind of puts a personal touch on it. Somebody left their loved one there, for eternity, basically. So it means that much to people. It means that much to the people who know and love their diver family, or people in their family who dive, and it's a serious thing. It's a passion, but just be careful with your passion. And anybody who's new to diving, be very careful. Please pay attention to your training. Listen to your instructors. If they tell you not to do something, it's for your own good. Everybody has their own limits. Different people are capable of going, to various depths without having issues. They're able to, their bodies can withstand things that other people can't. But just don't push it. Be sensible. Always consider your dive buddy's limitations. Don't think that everybody can do what you can do. If you're one of the people that can, really go to the maximum limits without any issues, it doesn't mean everybody can do that. So be mindful of your buddy.
What?
That's it. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please subscribe.
He violated everything that he talked about. I mean, I don't know if this guy's going to watch this, but when you walked up, it said you must be a certified cave diver. So I don't understand his message. What do you mean, listen to your training and your instructor and don't go beyond your limits? I mean, was he beyond his limits?
What?
I'm asking everybody that's watching this, am I out of my mind, or did I just hear somebody that's a recreational scuba diver go in? And I don't understand again, non-divers, we don't have any proof, scientific proof, that says some people can tolerate more than others. I assumed, by the way, that he's talking about being narked, which is that feeling where you're kind of not thinking clearly. There's no proof that you get numb to it or immune to it.
Right.
It just
I'm
not talking. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I just love how at the end,
it's ridiculous.
At the end, he is like, all right, it started to go downhill when he said something like, oh, somebody places this as a reminder. They placed it here as a reminder that people have died here and that you can die too. So please stay within your limits. I'm like, dude, we just spent the whole video watching you guys way outside your limits. What are you talking about? It's like if I film myself, right, robbing a bank, and then at the end of the video where I rob the bank, I'm like, by the way, guys, don't steal what you don't own. It's not cool. You should just use the own money that you earn with hard work. What? I just watched you rob a bank.
And it's kind of like what you said at the beginning. As you were talking, I was sitting back here trying to take myself out of this situation and pretend I'm watching our video. And I'm wondering, if I'm watching our video, would some say, well, who are you two to sit back and smirk and tell these guys, oh, you shouldn't be there. We could, but you shouldn't. And I don't really care if you think that's how we are, because guess what? We aren't saying that we're the best, most elite cave divers. We're saying we're trained cave divers that are going to carry the proper gas mixture to be in this cave at those depths. That's it. That's the end of our sentence.
Yeah.
And we're also going one step further and saying, if you're not, don't go there, because you probably are going to die. That has nothing to do with us saying we're elite, we're better, we're the best divers. I mean, you got to get off of watching our videos and thinking that's what we're doing here.
Right.
I want to portray a message, and so do you, of don't do this. Do not go to Eagle's Nest and dive it, actually, until you have a good bit of cave diving experience.
Yep. The recommended, it's actually 100 safe cave dives. So you shouldn't go before you have 100. That's the recommendation. Plus, you have to have the training. But, yeah, man, these guys from the get-go, I can tell they don't have it, and I'm glad they made it. But I hope that everyone watching this or everyone who watches their video doesn't get any ideas and says, if this guys can do it safely, then I can do it safely. The whole remains thing is weird, though. I got to be honest with you, because I feel that if those were remains from a diver and that I wanted Eagle's Nest to be the final place for me to rest, I would want somebody to put me in the cave. Like, why just throw me in the pond? That pond is not pretty, by the way. Mm-hmm. And when we went, it was way worse. It was full of muck, just awful. You have to sink under the water. You can't even see the entrance until you are like going down the chute, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is Eagle's Nest. But for somebody to be like, hey, Woody, I died. I'm a cave diver. Can you please put me at Eagle's Nest? If you just dump me on the side of the pond, then that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and let me give some perspective, because now I am having a few more thoughts. That tube that you're going back up, if you have a problem, such as, I'm out of air. Now we're going to go up this tube. Number one, can you even get your air to somebody if they happen to run out of air in the tube? Can you get your regulator to them? Number two, if you could get the regulator to them, what happens if they're out of control with their buoyancy and they go flying up and just pull the regulator right out of your mouth as you're below them or you're in front of them? You would want to put them in front if you knew to do that, right? You're going to bounce into them. You're going to drag both of you up. You see, everything has to go perfect to be able to handle donating air and receiving air in a tight tunnel like that. You're coming up, man. Your air is expanding in your BCD.
Yeah.
You need to have tremendous control. That's one of many risks in the upper part of that as they're coming out of that tube. Man, that's a really dangerous spot to have a problem. So,
Don't
do it.
Don't go to Eagle's Nest unless you have the proper training and techniques and experience to do it. And if that's you, then take us. I mean, we'll go, right? I want to go back to Eagle's Nest,
Of course.
with a DPV. But if you don't have the right, I guess stuff, training, technique, experience, all that combination, stay away from Eagle's Nest. There's no point on going there for what? Like, you go in there, maybe everything works perfectly like it happened to these guys and you survive. Chances are you're probably going to die there. It's not a beginner cave. It's not a place where anyone who's not a cave diver should be. So stay away from it.
I agree.
That's all we have. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and subscribe and like it and share with all the people, especially if you have friends that are divers, especially if they said, man, we should try that Eagle's Nest. Send them this video. You should not try it. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.